If I ask you why freshers or students or college going students cannot find an internship or a job, what would you say? You'll probably say they don't know English, they don't know the skill which is required. That is why they don't have the right job or internship in their hand. Well, what if I tell you all these people who have these kind of skill set, still they are not able to find the right internship or a job? In this video, we are going to discuss in detail when you're going to write a cold email, how you can actually leverage the power of cold email and actually land a dream internship or your first job. So let's get started. Okay, if you don't know what is a cold email is something similar to cold call. Cold call is what? Hey Avinash, I'm calling from this bank. Do you want an education loan? Do you want to take admission in this college? Do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy that? Out of the blue, they are calling you. They want to understand if you want to purchase this thing. Similarly, we have something which is known as a cold email, where you don't call someone, you take their email and you randomly send an email to them and obviously expect a response from them. Now, our goal in this video is when you're going to send the email to a potential recruiter, what is the right step you have to take? What are the right strategy, or what should be the right set of frameworks you have to follow? So first of all, let's try to understand what is the importance of a cold email. Now, obviously, if you're not able to read this, apologies, but what you can do, you can actually find this particular notes, if you want to call it, in the description of this video, so you can grab it from there. Now, obviously, let's start with this. It helps you build good reputation. Now, what do I mean by good reputation is basically if you're going to reach out to someone and if your cold email is actually quite interesting, they will share with their colleagues, which will actually happen with you. Now, you can see we have posted this particular image. This is an image which is posted by someone who wanted to work on credit. So what happened? Instead of reaching out, applying, going to HR, they simply made a video out of it, and they posted on LinkedIn and they got the internship. So you can understand they are reaching out to people coldly and they're actually getting good attention. So helps you build good reputation. Cold email are visually attractive. Well, obviously, if you have written a very perfect email, this is going to actually give you some brownie points, if I may. Then cold email are more informative. Well, obviously, in cold email, if I talk about, if you're going to plug in some more information, they are going to give more details about you, which can be a potential reason for you being hired. Then if I talk about great way to communicate, because obviously not everyone can pick a call. The potential people who can actually hire you or who understand what kind of a potential you have are not the HR. They are the team leader, they are the management, they are the founders of the company. So that is a good way to set the communication. And finally, increases your chance of landing an interview with your dream employer for a very specific reason. Every company, I'll be very, very, very honest, every company is hunting for people. They want to hire a right candidate and they are not able to find it. It sounds very funny that in India we say there are no jobs. Technically, there are so many jobs. If we open them up and if people actually start applying for that, our economy will boost in no time. So this is the reality of it. Okay, so what is the first strategy? First strategy is very simple. Keep it short. Nobody wants to read a 1500 word email. Why? They don't have time. You can be a great person, but obviously if your introduction is not good, you will be rejected. So make sure your email, especially for a job or an offer, is very short. So within a span of, I'll say 5 to 10 seconds, they can understand if they have to move on with the profile or they have to reject the profile. So very simple thing, do not write a 1500 word email, because that is not going to help you at all. I receive so many emails from students. If the question is quite vague and if they have written a very lengthy thing, there is a good possibility that I will skip that email because I don't have a time. I'm in a meeting right now. Maybe I'm on a call with someone. So obviously, if you're sending an email, make it short so that you grab the attention and you can actually send the message which you're expecting the person to receive. Next thing you can actually do is obviously mention your accomplishment. You are applying for an internship, you're applying for a first job of your life. So in terms of accomplishment, if you're not mentioning them, you are actually shooting out emails out of the blue. So make sure your accomplishments are listed there. What kind of an accomplishment? Which can show you that you are a team player related to your skill set. Maybe you have won a medal on your skill set, or maybe something like that. Maybe you have achieved something great. Maybe you have won a hackathon. So mention these details, because this will set the tone and this will set you apart from all other people who are probably sending an email right now. So mention a couple of accomplishments, if I may, so that you can actually set the tone and you can show yourself that yes, you are better with the other candidates. Now, oftentimes it always feels like the candidate who is reaching the company always say that I'm looking for an internship. Do you have an opening for me? It's not like that. You are a unique person. You won't believe how many companies are actually looking for you because you have that thing which they require. But the problem is, if you have applied for multiple companies and if you're not going to share with them that you have already applied for these companies, you're interviewing with these companies, so it will feel like, okay, you are the only person who is looking for our company and there is no other company you're applying for. So make sure that you're adding some urgency and establishing a timeline. So you have to mention that you already have an interview schedule with the other company. You're already looking for these kind of opportunities, or you have already worked on something and you want to showcase this skill set in this particular company. So that is going to actually help you. So make sure you add some urgency and establish a timeline that by this I'm looking for this internship because I feel that this is going to be advantageous for me and for you as well. How to tell advantages about company, I'll discuss that. In the previous slide, I said mention something so that a company can relate. So in this slide, let's discuss what is that. Let's say you're working with Google. You want to apply for Google. Mention something the potential recruiter, if I may, or the company can relate to. If you have built something which is actually quite relevant for Google, it is going to be very good for you, because the potential recruiter will say, okay, I have received 1500 applications. All of them have worked in good colleges. They have done projects, but you are bringing something which we actually aspire for. This is something we are looking for. So if you're applying for a company, look into it, what kind of a company culture they have, what kind of a products they are building, what kind of open source strategy they have, what kind of a products they are working on. And if your skill set actually matches their frequency, mention that, relate to that. So what will happen, you will actually reach out to the potential recruiter who will find it useful. They will feel like, okay, Avinash is the right candidate, not because he has all these accomplishments, but because he's doing something which we want to do. So he can be a great fit for this particular company. And if this does not happen, at least they will appreciate that. Or at least they will forward it to their colleagues and they will say, okay, we don't have a position for you, but I have a friend who is actually looking for you, a kind of a person who you are. So why don't you talk to them? So this can be a very beneficial point for you. The next point is ask very specifically, what do you want? You want an internship, you want a job, what is the duration of it, what is the CTC you're expecting, what you're expecting out of a company. Just mention that so they are aware, okay, if I'm going to take an interview of this particular person, I'm already aware what he or she needs. I just want to double sure that if they are like what they are actually representing in an interview. So if you can specifically tell them what do you want, this will open so many doors. Reason: majority of the students who reached us or reach me, they have a very vague question. I'm looking for an internship. Do you have an opening? What is your skill set? What can you do? What is your past experience? No idea. What do you want to do in this internship? Why you're looking for this internship? No idea. Just out of the blue, I'm looking for an internship. Do you have an opening? This does not work because obviously I have hundreds and hundreds of people who are already having a better approach unlike you. First impression is the last impression. So is true for your subject line. If your subject line is not strong enough, you will be automatically rejected. Don't simply say, hey, I'm Avinash and I'm looking for an internship. No. Make it so strong that the person will actually think about reading it. Let's say you are applying for Google. and you're applying for their ML team. Just an example. You want an ML internship in Google. So what you can do, hey Google, hey potential recruiter, I looked into your product and it has some flaws, something like that. And I'm doing an internship. I'm looking for this internship where I think I can actually improve the product because I already have the understanding of the product and the cons, what things which are not working with this for this particular product. So you can see if you have a strong subject line, if I may, this actually helps you a lot for a very specific reason. You can actually open a lot of doors because the person is going to appreciate how you are delivering that message, because in this noisy world, what we are looking for a clear-cut message in shortest span of time. Now, obviously, if you're going to send a cold email, there is a 95% possibility you will not receive a response. Hey Avinash, I followed up everything what you said, a strong subject line. I have a very short email, if I may. I personalize it according to the recruiter and the company, but I'm still not receiving a response. Why? Because they're not sitting just for you. They're hiring other people. They have so many things. A lot of things are happening in their life. A lot of things are happening. So it is suggested you should follow up 3 times at least. Let's say on 12th of July, you have sent an email. Next follow-up you should actually give is around on 15th. That, hey, I sent you an email. Did you get the chance to read it? Then on 18th. And then probably on 21st. Give some breathing space, because what happens, usually I'll give you my habit. When I'm having some 10 or 15 minutes, I sometimes open my email box, I should say inbox, and I just go through all the emails I have received or maybe the emails which I have missed. So make sure you're following up at least 3 times. So don't just leave it there. After sending the email, send the first follow-up, then send the second follow-up, then send the third follow-up, just to make sure that they are actually looking for it. And obviously, even after third follow-up, they may not respond to you. That does not mean that they are totally rejecting you. That simply means they have something else. And obviously that is not the only company for you. So make sure that you are doing at least 3 follow-ups before giving up on this company altogether. Now this is something serious, sending an email at the right time. Nobody has answer to that. I'll be very, very frank with you. You have to analyze what would be the right time for you. This is my strategy, what I would suggest to you, like what you should do. It's usually between 8 AM to 9 AM, because at this time, someone actually gets up and they are maybe checking their mobile phone, or between 7 PM to 10 PM. This can be a very good time for you, your email being read for a very specific reason. At this time, this person is not involved in their office activity. This person is not involved in their office activity. Some people will say that obviously you can email them at 11 AM, maybe 12 PM if I talk about 1 PM. Well, usually in this particular time, they are having their office hours. So usually there is a good potential that they will miss out because they are already busy in something else. So as I suggest, this could be a better option for you, 8 to 9 AM or 7 to 10 PM. This could be a good time for you, but obviously you can optimize it. You can do a research about it. Maybe some companies have specific working hours. So based on that, you can customize it. But again, if I have to give you one specific timeline, I would say 7 to 10 or 8 to 9. Now I have some questions around cold email. Let's try to understand what confusing questions a lot of people have. Let me answer them. So first question is usually, what makes a great cold email? The answer is very simple: keeping it very short. In the specific terms, if you can mention what you're looking for, that is the best cold email you can actually send. How many cold emails should I send per day? Not more than 20. Not more than 20. What is the best time to send a cold email to get response fast? Obviously, I just want to mention one thing, guys. There is no such thing as getting a response fast. We as a student want things fast, but obviously if a working professional is working there and they're probably recruiting, they're not just looking for you. They're looking for people who have 5 years of experience, people who have 10 years of experience. They're looking for so many people. So you cannot expect this person to respond as soon as possible. What you can do, you can optimize it to 8 AM to 9 AM and 10 you can make it to 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. That can be the best time, but obviously you can find out what is the best time, what works for you, and if something works for you, obviously put them in the comment. The next question is, how do you end a cold email? A very good question. How would you end your cold email? This is my personal strategy which will actually work for you. Usually what happens, I have seen majority of the students do not have the habit of responding to an email because email is something which is very boring. They respond to Instagram DMs, they respond to Snapchats, they respond to WhatsApp and whatnot, but not email. So it is always suggested you should end your email with the name. What are you doing currently? So maybe you are a third year student, and mention your mobile number. Why you should mention your mobile number? Because if the potential recruiter wants to reach you, they don't have to email you, hey Avinash, I found your profile, it looks very good, can we have a call? No, give them the mobile number there itself, so they can simply click on this number and they can call you directly. So at least the connection will be established. Do not remove, or I should say kill your chances of getting selected by these kind of mistakes. So these are the questions. Obviously, if you have some other questions related to this topic, put them in the comment. I'll make sure they are answered. So in conclusion, I would say writing cold email can be quite effective for you because you will land a dream internship or a job, if I may. But you have to make sure that you have to polite, and you have to understand the person who is reading an email is not a machine. He or she is a human being. So you have to write in that kind of a fashion. You have to be polite. If they are not responding to your email, that does not mean that they are ignoring you. It simply means they have something else they want to do compared to responding to your email. So this is about the video. If you have some questions, confusion, or things related to cold emailing strategies, obviously put them in the comment. And I just want to mention one thing. We have just started a Telegram group, especially for fresher students who are looking for internship, a separate group for internship looking students, and a group especially for freshers who are looking for jobs, their first job. So the links of the Telegram group will be available in the description of this video. Go and join the particular groups because obviously we will be posting everything related to that. So go and check out our Telegram channels. So with this, thank you for watching our video, and I'll see you in the next one.